It is documentary day, and today we have on the docket a little something different, but the vein of what we've talked about on the channel
Yeah.
before on docs. Ross Kemp on gangs. This is the
Belize.
Belize episode, so I don't know what to expect from this one.
Me neither, man.
I've lived near gang-ridden cities. Wouldn't say gang-ridden, but a little too many degrees of separation, few from Kevin Bacon than I would like to be comfortable with.
And I've stayed away. I think my lucky stars, I've been blessed not to be near very problematic areas. And so this is going to be interesting to me.
It will be.
Like, there was a part during lockdown where I gravitated towards like gangland.
Oh,
all that stuff, but I had no idea about this.
the closest I ever got to that was watching The Wire, but because it's Baltimore, I will say a lot of it is accurate. I've talked about it on the channel before, so this is the closest thing I've come to that. So
if anything, The Wire paints a prettier picture.
It's almost too pretty of a picture. You had to fakeify it so much just to even get it onto HBO.
Yes, the real life Baltimore is much more real than that show.
Oh yeah, we may get a taste of that here. I'm not sure. No early predictions. Don't want to put my foot in the mouth too early, but here we are.
Let's do it, man. I'm excited.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I've come to Belize in Central America, an ex-British colony. It's only a small country, but it plays a significant part in the international multi-billion-dollar business of cocaine smuggling. 37% of all the cocaine smuggled into the United States of America comes through Belize. Its geographical position, its hundreds of miles of unpatrolled coastline and unguarded land borders makes this tiny country a perfect haven for drug traffickers. The global cocaine trade is worth $23 billion a year. Belize has become an essential part of the narcotics highway, from production in South America to consumption in North America.
Holy shit, that's like right there. I mean, I guess I was asleep that day in geography class, but like it's proximity to both the north of South America and the south of North America, particularly the United States. I can see that.
I can see that. That's a perfect midpoint between Colombia and the U.S.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that's a what's it called? I call them puddle jumpers. You know those like disposable planes. You know what I mean? Like the really cheap fixed wing, just they can fly super low.
Yep.
Not jets or commercial airlines.
Yeah.
The ones that Cessnas.
Yeah,
That's very attainable on a Cessna to get there.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Or even a helicopter. You saw that. There was literally a thing of Coke right on the thing on the bottom of the helicopter.
Yeah, man.
Or it could have been. I don't know.
It's probably baking soda for a
baking soda, or I don't know, sugar.
Oh, hey. Yep.
Belize's white sandy beaches and crystal clear waters attracts tourists from all over the world. But it's its labyrinth of mangroves and hundreds of islands that also attracts the drug smugglers. And the majority of cocaine that arrives in Belize comes by sea.
Wow.
The Colombians use local gangs to get the cocaine through Belize to the Mexican cartels. The gangs are rewarded for its safe transportation with drugs, cash, and military weapons. Consequently, this small city is swamped with guns and drugs, and gangland murders are at a record level.
I find it interesting that Belize, like, I'm thinking because I had an old bass player in my backing band a couple years ago who worked for, I think the wildlife conservation for the U.S. government, and would always, during the wintertime, migrate down to Belize and do work there and, live a peaceful life. So I guess that's the tourist area of Belize, not the
Probably.
parts where that have just been described.
And just like anything, just like any country, like the drugs that come in prop up local businesses. Like the mafias especially in some South American countries, the mafias and they protect the tourist traps. Tourist traps are the safest places because that's like a no fight zone, because that's a great way for them to launder their money.
Yeah, exactly. Like those type of places. And I guess the older you get, the more you realize that some businesses are probably money laundering businesses. Yeah. Like there's a reason that they're still there, despite the fact that you don't ever see anybody in there. Like some examples are probably like Rainforest Cafe, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, mattress stores of any brand.
Yep. VHS repair shops.
VHS, yeah. Radio Shack, if they're still around.
They're still around.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, that's odd.
Long John Silver's.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Totally money laundering.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah.
This is Belize City, home to some 3,000 gangsters. Last year, there were over 100 gang-related murders. The US State Department recently described the situation here as critical. And with a population of just 69,000, it's the 6th most likely place on the planet for someone to die from a gunshot wound.
For the second time in a week, police have made a major weapon seizure.
13 handguns, 32 rifles, 37 shotguns.
35 shots were fired.
Most of the weapons were confiscated in Belize City.
Belize is a city on the verge of anarchy. Attempting to keep a lid on the violence are the police. Working alongside them are the heavily armed Belize Defence Force. There are 23 gangs in this small city. Corporal Lonsworth of the anti-gang unit has agreed to take me on a tour.
Yeah.
It's causing problems, yeah? No. You're less than 100 yards from the police station and you're already in a gang area.
Yeah, it's our neighbor, next door neighbor.
Kill bloods, fuck you all.
Just over the weekend, we have about 5 separate shooting incidents. Just
5 shootings?
Over this weekend on this very street.
So you look at the houses, they're mainly made out of wood. If a round hit one of those, it'd go straight through.
Penetrate right through. And goes on and hit whatever is inside.
So kids?
Kids.
Civilians?
Civilians, innocent people.
Oh my God.
But this is one of the real active neighborhoods involving a lot of shooting.
What kind of guns are these people using then?
AK-47s, AR-15s, M16, 9mm, explosives.
Man.
We have 12 persons that was injured. One was killed by a hand grenade that was thrown through that neighborhood. Yes.
There was a grenade blast in the city last night. The deadly explosive device was used in a gang-related attack on a group of young men in the Mayflower Street area. One 16-year-old is dead. Another young man is critical, and 10 others, including a woman, were injured. It is a crime that has stunned the city.
That's where the grenade went off?
Yeah, right here. He was standing somewhere over here. The guy rode up on a bicycle from over there and threw the grenade from there. It bounced on one of these wires and dropped, and he kicked it. And as he kicked it, the grenade
went off.
Oh my God.
So he tried to kick it away.
Kick it away. He didn't know it was a grenade. In history, it was the first time that an explosive ever was thrown in a neighborhood that is so populated. And if you can see, the majority is small kids.
And was there any retaliation? Do they know what neighborhood the grenade?
Yes, they did.
They knew who threw it?
They knew.
I mean, these are incredibly poor areas, aren't they?
Yeah, very poor.
Is there any kind of social welfare here for these people?
Nope. Nothing at all.
How do they put food in their stomachs then?
Selling marijuana, selling crack cocaine.
Right.
These guys are selling crack cocaine.
Are these boys here, yeah?
Yeah. These guys, they call themselves the dog pound. They used to be one
Dog
most
pound.
notorious. Instead of using weapons, they used to bite you. Bite you in your throat, bite off your ears.
Oh my God.
Bite you like dogs.
They'll bite you in the throat, rip your throat.
Bite off a ear.
Bite off your...
You know, bite off piece of your
Face.
Yeah.
Man, these people don't mess around here.
Man, that's what happens in areas of extreme poverty, man. Like,
Yeah.
There's a balance. There's a balance it's very unfortunate to get to. It's like at some point the people have to wake up and know that their community is dying because of the poison that's infiltrating. But at the same time, if that is the only means of income, they got to do it. It's like a big ass Star Wars cantina, dude.
Yeah. What else you going to do? Like,
you can't.
I'm pretty sure they've not had hope for generations.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna guess.
Yeah.
Like, knowing what we know from why the Nazis fled to Argentina and what was going on during those times and how the US was involved in a lot of what was going on during that time during the Cold War.
Yeah.
I would take a wild guess. They haven't had hope for a very long time.
Yeah.
And that's how many generations have been able to put food on the table is by selling ganja and no sugar.
Yeah, pretty much, man. It's tough. I mean, you can't even fault. It's terrible because you can't fault them for wanting to survive. Everyone deserves a chance. How do you attain that, man? You gotta. And once you get in that, I'm pretty sure there's a high turnover rate. That world of crime and gang violence.
I would say you're right.
So we've just traveled 40 meters, maybe under that, and you've managed to point out 4 different murders that have occurred in the last 2 years.
It was just for this year.
This year?
This year.
There doesn't seem to be any area that hasn't got a gang.
That's true. That's a harsh reality behind it.
I've never been to anywhere like that.
I'm in Belize, Central America. Over a third of the cocaine that's smuggled from Colombia into the USA passes through this small country. For the South American drug cartels, Belize is a refueling stop between South and North America. The local gangs that escort the drugs through Belize are paid with weapons and drugs. The boats used to traffic the cocaine only represent a small fraction of their valuable cargo, and once their job is done, they're abandoned.
2 years ago, with the help of American money, Belize got its first Coast Guard. However, despite that investment, most of its fleet are supplied by the Colombians. Commander Borland? Ross Kemp, pleased to meet you.
Good to meet you, sir.
This is one of the boats that was confiscated off the Colombians, isn't it?
That's correct.
So, Commander, just how effective are these boats?
These boats are awesome. They give us very, very good performance. I mean, they came from 1,000 miles away, you know.
And how long would that take them in one run?
It takes 48 to 72 hours.
If the Mexican border isn't that much further north, why do traffickers come into Belize?
In the years gone by, we were so under-resourced with assets to police or seize. The Mexicans are right up there with a lot more resources than we have.
One of the sayings that we've heard is that there's a thing called the sea lotto.
It's a result of what the locals find floating after a delivery has been made and some stuff gets left over.
The only problem they have is getting rid of it afterwards. A lot of them get killed if they try and sell it on to the gangsters, don't they?
Well, that's what happens, you know, and that's what affects us back home. It's the stuff that gets left over and gets into the society and community and fuel the gang wars and, you know, the drug problem that we have here.
But it's not just boats that the drug runners leave behind.
So this aircraft landed on the Northern Highway about 2.5 months ago.
They've actually sealed off a public road and used it as a landing strip.
They got their own security out there. They cordoned off a part of the highway that was long enough and wide enough for this aircraft to land.
There's bullet holes in the in the windscreen up there?
Well, when the security forces arrived on the scene, they came in the fire and they returned fire. Actually, somebody got shot because there were traces of blood left in the cockpit.
How much cocaine could be actually transported in a plane like this?
This aircraft would take a ton of cocaine quite easily.
$50 million worth?
Yeah, that's what it is.
The plane's worth what? I don't know.
The aircraft's not worth more than $1 million.
$1 million, so it's actually an acceptable loss again.
That's what it is.
That's insane that, you know, boats and aircraft is just left there from a job done.
Yep. That's like the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
That's just the cost of doing business. Okay, we're gonna throw a plane out. Cool. That's pretty much how it goes. It's like, yeah, it's you're not. What are you gonna do? Fly it back? No, you're not gonna fly it back. Usually, it's a one-way trip for pilots and co-pilots and people involved, if they even survive. You know,
that's the key. If they survive, because one of the pilots got killed in one of those,
or most of the time they kill the pilots.
Yeah.
The less you know, the better.
Yeah. You know too much.
Yep.
With the Belize National Coast Guard, we're heading down the Belize River. About 4 or 5 miles time, we'll get into open ocean, and then we'll head north, and they'll start boarding fishing vessels searching for cocaine.
Yeah, right. You couldn't pay me enough.
Me neither.
Not on water.
Hell no.
We've just stopped this fishing vessel now. Not necessarily looking for cocaine, but this boat has to have documents to say, hey, it's seaworthy. And obviously, ultimately, if people started throwing white packets over the boat when we first sighted it, they would have opened fire on it. These aren't the people that you'd normally expect to be trafficking thousands of kilos of cocaine.
Yeah, that's right. These aren't the drug runners from South America.
Yeah.
However, they could support the drug trade by providing fuel containers to them, local knowledge to them, and any other information that they may require.
I.e. where the reefs are, fuel, and also like knowledge about where you guys are, for instance.
The Belize Coast Guard have 8 boats to create a deterrent, but with 14,000 square kilometres of ocean to cover, it's impossible to prevent drug traffickers from coming in by sea.
Yeah, that's not enough. They're still going to get in. Like, I'm pretty sure that boat that they stopped, they probably knew how to cover their tracks and, present well.
How old is this documentary?
Let's see. Good question. It was uploaded 5 years ago.
Wow.
So at least 5 years old.
Wow.
I would say it's 2023 now, so 2018.
Wow.
Shit's still going on, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure nothing is better. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah. We would have heard about it by now.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we've just spotted a boat off to the starboard, yeah? And they're trying to catch up with it. We're going at a hell of a rate now, as you can see by the way I'm bouncing around. But it's quite an exciting game, this. I mean, they spot boats, they try and cut them off, and the other boats try to outrun them. The boat that we've been chasing is heading into an island just to the front of us, and it's slowed down considerably. The boat that we were chasing earlier has actually arrived in what can only be described as paradise. It is actually registered to the British Army. They know the actual speedboat. The British Army still use Belize for training, and we've inadvertently ended up at one of their bases. Being on patrol,
AKA the good part.
You played yourself. You played yourself.
Oh, that's
thank
funny
God
as
they
hell.
didn't open up fire, man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. Their bargaining chip was they had a Brit on board.
Yeah. Like,
We have Ross Kemp on board. We're good.
I was like, what? What? Oh, what? Like, I live here. Ah, damn. Oh my God.
With the Coast Guard has been exciting, but ultimately inconclusive. If I want to discover more about the gangs here, I have to head back onto the streets of Belize City. Our research has uncovered a character called Cobra, a veteran gangster and someone who has had direct contact with the Colombian drug traffickers.
So how dangerous is it, mate, living here where we are now?
Well, we have a lot of big guns in Belize. I've been shot by an AK.
Where'd they get you?
They caught me right here in my shoulder. You know, this one
I can
right
see
here.
it. Yeah, right there.
You know, I get caught here.
Where were you actually when you got shot then?
I was trying to rob cocaine. I was trying to drop drugs, drop cocaine. You know, I went one day to San Pedro because the guys, they came in, the Colombian guys, they came across the San
Colombians
Pedro.
were coming in with drugs.
Yes. And they wanted fuel for order to get to Mexico, so they offered us drugs for fuel.
You were hitting these Colombian guys and they came in their boats. How much were you really making?
Well, I wasn't working with them. I just went to do a fuel run for them. They wanted fuel, but we don't want to give them fuel. We wanted their drugs. Right. We wanted money.
Well, how much would they offer you in terms of payment?
Like 2 kilos for maybe two drums of fuel, you know?
2 kilos?
Yeah. For just 2 drums of fuel.
That's a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, because they have tons of cocaine. You know, they have big boats with a lot of drugs, you know. I see all of that, man. I want it all, but I just got 7 kilos, just, you know.
What happened to those guys?
They ended up running. I shot one of them in the belly.
Right. Oh my God.
Cobra belongs to a gang called Posse in the Village, or PIV for short, but its street acronym is Professionals in Violence. The Belize gangs were originally affiliated to the Bloods and Crips. But since the introduction of huge amounts of cocaine, the dollar has more clout than any colour, and now every gang is a potential enemy. The spot where PIV hang out is on the border of their territory and has one of the highest murder rates in the city.
That's the south side right there.
The Crips, say, for instance, know that you're here. So it's a dangerous place to stand, isn't it?
In this night, it gets kind of dangerous. One day, they can't do what they want. There's too many faces seeing what they're doing, you know? One day, that guy stabbed me down, man, in my back with a screwdriver. That same guy right there in the red.
Which one?
That same guy in the red right there. He got a beef with me. He stabbed me in the back with a fucking screwdriver. You don't want to come. Come over here, man. Come over here. Don't be doing that. Come over here. I want you to tell him about the old beef that me and you have when you stab me down with the screwdriver. I want him to talk about when they kick your teeth out, too.
Holy fuck.
Because he stabbed me and I never run. I end up getting it and stab him up like about 3 times. And we're still alive to talk about it. We're still friends.
Even though you try to kill each
Still
other, you're
friends.
yeah?
Yep. Bye. Go up on the flip.
Get that way then.
He said next time he's not going to stab me in my back. He's going to stab me in my choke. He's just talking, man, that guy. He likes to talk a lot. We don't deal with talking around here, you know.
The fact that yards, sometimes inches, separate opposing gangs means that violence and murder are commonplace.
Again.
Man, oh man. Like, I've heard, you know, insulting people is a way that you see that you like a person, but
not down there, dude. Not down there. That's different, bro.
It gets physical, and I'm not talking about the fun kind.
I don't think I would ever have the balls to disrupt a cartel run.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Like that. They got all the money, but then again, in your field, you're not making it for them to retaliate. You're probably going to die very soon.
Oh yeah.
So I get it. I get it. You have a shot, take it.
Yeah.
Literal and figuratively.
Yeah, you pretty much know that any day could be your last day, and you just don't give a fuck.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's, oh my God.
The reason I could never be in a gang is because I would have a hard time telling who's in which gang. Like, because they wear very similar clothing.
This is very true.
Yeah. Among other reasons.
Yes, among other reasons. It's probably that's the only reason, Spence. I can't tell the clothing. I don't get it. I like red and blue, so I'm just gonna say no. I'm just gonna go say no to street gangs.
Yeah,
got it.
Say no to rugs.
Yep.
Tell him why you lose your job, man. You know why you lose your job? Tell him why you lose your job. Tell him why you lose your job. Because he was a dirty cop. He take away cocaine from bad guys like us, take away drugs, and he end up taking it for himself and selling it to the street guys. We call him Eggy. You know, Eggy is a dirty cop. Well, tell him about the story of being a cop and a dirty fucking cop. That's what you should tell him.
Why did you leave the police force then?
Why did I leave the police force?
You can't answer the question. Why did you leave the police force? He's clearly unwilling to incriminate himself on camera. Cobra has the scars to back up his stories, but I have no way of knowing if his accusations are true or false. Belize City is a dangerous, weird, and unnerving place.
Smart guy.
With gang membership 5 times greater per person than that of LA, we have no trouble finding the gangs here.
While we've been here, we've seen lots of gangsters with guns, high-powered weapons. One of the gangs has told us to follow them. I have no idea where we're going.
Why?
We have to turn the camera off before we get there, and they've promised to show us some of the serious hardware that's on the streets and some of the stuff that they use here in Belize City.
This man has no fear, Ross
No.
Kemp. He is the definition of walking through the valley of the shadow of death and fearing no evil.
Yeah, this man, that's different. That's such a gamble. That's such a gamble. That's such a fucking gamble. Yeah, follow us. No, thank you. Like, how badly do I need that footage? Like, how many more seasons do we get? Like 2? Have we got the second season? Okay.
Yeah,
then I'll go.
We don't have the second season.
I'm
not going.
No, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm not taking another trip. My God.
Even though I do think Alan Partridge might do that.
Yeah.
We mentioned Patreon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Partridge. Yeah. Anyway, cool.
Let's see how this turns out.
Oh, God.
I have no idea where I actually been taken, and I can't tell you who's given this to me, but this is an example of the hardware that's on the streets of Belize. This is a NATO hand grenade, very similar probably to the one that was used lately in Belize. That will kill a lot of people, particularly if it's thrown into a crowd against the wall. The pellets ricochet off, it will maim, it will kill. In all my travels around the world, I have never seen a gang with this kind of hardware.
Listen, did you know that grenades were named from pomegranates? Because they're shaped similar, and when you open them up, stuff flies out, makes a mess?
Yeah, makes sense, right? Did you know there's a pineapple grenade? Because it tastes like pineapple if you get hit with one.
Now you know.
I'm kidding. No, definitely not. No, that was a joke.
I know it's a Ballyhoo reference.
God. Okay.
I'm amazed at how acute the problem is here, how many gangs there are, and how close the enemy's territories are to each other. People are literally confined to the few streets of their gang's hood, and the price for slipping out of that neighborhood could be death.
We've only been here a very short period of time. We've already met one gang. We've already gained access to another gang. Just goes to show how many active gangs there are here in Belize City. These lot are called the Dog Pound. They've agreed to talk to us.
Dog Pound are aptly named because of their reputation for biting their enemies.
You okay? Listen to me, man.
Yes, man.
Have you lost a lot of boys?
We lost 13
Man, we lost a lot of homeboys.
Sorry, one person, sorry, say that again.
We lost 13 homeboys in less than 2 years.
13 boys dead?
Yeah. All of them was from guns. And I ain't scared. They kill one, I go take two. They kill two of mine, I go take three. Yeah. Yo, my life ain't a gun, but fuck. If you try to take me, I'll take you. I was born on this block and I'm die on this block. Right. We made these. These guns we made.
Have a look. There's a pin on the inside there, yeah?
Yeah, there's a pin on the inside.
You shove it up there.
Force.
What about the other gangs? Have
they got guns.
They got automatic weapons.
They got mad guns. We don't waste bullets. We don't come and boom, 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 boom. Them. We meet them 1-1 and we get rid of their fucking ass. Our bullets is 1 per each head. They come kill us, we go back and kill them back. If you disrespect my hood, violate my block, I'm coming for your bitch ass.
Right away.
I've seen niggas spread across their cars with gunshots in the head. All I could do is cry, go to the cemetery or what.
Already, man.
Who's responsible for that?
Jill Street gang.
George Street.
George Street is the biggest gang, man. My homeboy don't like them, man.
I roll up
on
them and
my homeboy cuts for me up, man, for my fucking rock, man. Nigga, like
we forgive, but we don't forget. And if I forget you today, remember, I will remember you 4 years from now. And if I meet you with my gun in my hand, you's a dead motherfucker. You was your bitch that you with. You dead. I ain't giving a fuck.
Do you not worry that because of what you do, that you could be killed?
God created me to live. I'm gonna live, and to tell you the truth, all the other youths in the world, I wouldn't want them to come like this. I know the way the world is running, and I know how we are going in my country, but come on, man. We can't get no sensible jobs or minimum wages, a little bit of fucking money. How the fuck can we live? I, as a ghetto youth, right now would want to get out of this game. But I can't. Who will I turn to? My daughter is 3 years old. My son is 1 year old.
That's a responsibility, isn't it?
I gotta face that. Every day I come out, I think about my head getting shot open. I can't get out, man. This is my life. I was born here, I'm gonna die here.
I'm in Belize City.
That's some of the realest stuff that you'll ever hear.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I bet all of them, given a chance and an opportunity, would choose a different life.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just played the cards they were handed.
It's part of the reason why I love hearing conversations like that. It's because it's the realest shit ever. Yeah. And really puts perspective on how good we have it.
Yeah.
You know, and how worse off it could be. Like
there's always worse. And this is the travel that I was telling people about. Like this is you got to go to the poor places, man. You got to go to the impoverished nations.
Yeah.
And then get on your pedestal and preach how bad it is here or there or wherever you are.
Yeah, which is why I appreciate documentaries like these and like how I'm getting into people like Anthony Bourdain that did series, like Parts Unknown, and really see pull back the curtain on the reality of certain places and see the good in it. I mean, obviously this is showing the reality of the bad of it, but
and I can't fault the man for what he said.
Yeah.
I think everything he said was like, yeah, man, you got to handle business and just know that business is going to at some point come back for you.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
That's the way of that life until you can get out. And unfortunately, the only way out of that life is 90% death.
Yeah. Yeah. By the gun that it may not be in his own hand, probably won't be. It'll be in someone else's hand.
Yep.
When it happens.
Central America, where the narcotics and guns smuggled through here by South American drug dealers have turned this small city into a battleground. I'm going back to see Corporal Longsworth to ask him about the link between the Colombian cartels, the Belize city gangs, and the amount of drugs that end up on the streets.
Can you tell me when, like, crack cocaine started coming into Belize City?
Sometime around the late 80s,
early 90s.
So what do these gangs do? When they're given 2 kilos of cocaine, what do they do with it?
A kilo of cocaine in the Belize streets is an average of 10,000. But if you cooked it for a small distribution, there's where it doubles or triples.
Yeah.
Oh
Tons
my.
of cocaine pass through Belize every year. 7% of it stays behind, and the majority of that gets turned into crack.
The major player goes and he has his lab where he cooks. They cooked it and distribute it to the gang members on the corners, and they sell it to the addicts.
Now, these major players, are we talking the leader of the street gang, or are there bigger people involved?
There are bigger people involved.
And these are people who have connections with the cartels?
With the cartels, and then they have connection with the gangs.
He was the boss of the George Street crew and the powerful player in Belize's underworld. He was enlisted by a corrupt Belizean government official working with Mexico's Juarez cartel to smuggle 12 tons of cocaine into the United States, assisted by, quote, armed members of the George Street crew.
He was a major player in the George Street. He would look right into our face and tell you he's untouchable. He told me that he's good for $30 million.
We have $30 million in cash.
Yes.
The people making the real money from the drugs trade don't live in the same ghettos as the gangs. They live in the respectable parts of town and, for obvious reasons, are not keen to be filmed. Over the next few days, we managed to make contact with the leading figure of George Street, the most feared gang in Belize. Jason Brown has considerable clout on the streets and is rumoured to be behind countless contract killings. I've arranged to meet him at a remote location outside of the city.
Jason? We've been told that there are these Mr. Bigs that pass the orders down to the gangs.
Like me, I would be like their lieutenant. I get all the little soldiers that follows to do the work. I'm going to get one salary, and all the guys that follows, I got to take care of them. This is going to be my responsibility. I'm going to be driving past in my car tilted. You won't see me, but I see you. And I have the gunmen already waiting, you know. And I just give the call, move now. And within 15 minutes, they would be right up your ass and you would be dead. Because if you take a blood for them, they want it back by tomorrow, man. And they're going to get it. And they have the potential to do it.
Why has George Street got such a reputation, then?
We have witnesses who will be killed. If you're a witness, you say I could come 12 o'clock in the afternoon and shot this guy in the middle of his forehead and you're a witness.
I'm not saying anything.
You better not. You better not. Because if you do it, you, your family, and whoever follows.
Jason is a target himself and has had countless attempts made on his life.
The only thing I could have done was grab his gun. If I would have just stand there, he'd have hit me in the face. I made a couple of steps and I snatched the gun, and by the time I had my hand on the guns...
He pulled the trigger?
He just got frightened and he pulled the fucking trigger. No plane.
I'm surprised by Jason's honesty, and he openly admits to being responsible for some terrible and indiscriminate acts of violence that he says he now regrets.
Twice, I hurt a little kid. Twice, I hurt little kids.
You did that by the order?
Yeah, the order that I gave. I hurt some kids, man. It's like I tell them, go hit that spot. They go hit the spot. Fuck when they left the spot. Kid is shot.
Innocent?
Innocently. You know, those things bother me, man. And I have my kids. I can ask God, where's my position in all this, you know? And I decide, like, fuck, I don't want this no more, man. No more, no more. Because every day it's killing me. Every day. It's a lose-lose situation for me. Because I'm losing my homies, and I could probably end up losing my family, which is the most valuable thing to me, you know? So I think the best way for me now is to do positive. If I die trying positive, I might feel a little bit better in my heart, because then at least I was trying to change and trying to do good, you know?
As a positive step, Jason is teaching woodwork to young people who might otherwise be recruited into the gangs. He says that he's out of the gang, but he also admits that you can never really be out of the gang. He says when he's here at this woodwork school, he feels a release, he feels safe, he feels free. He's free here, but as soon as he goes back to where he actually lives, it's like being incarcerated again. Anyway, he's agreed to take us there and to meet the meanest, nastiest gang in the whole of Belize City, and that's George Street.
Man, another dose of reality, of real shit right there. And good on him for at least trying to be a positive force in an area that there isn't a lot of positivity in, except in the nicer parts.
You know, it's his plight is that of a leadership role and bad intel. You know, and his demons will haunt him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You know, and here's my thing. And through all of this, what I see is the big cartels, the ones with money, the ones that have organization, have infrastructure, have backup, have their fingers in everything. Fortune 500 companies, basically.
Yeah.
They need to keep Belize in disarray for their business. So they'll leave the drugs because it's destroying the city, which keep the police busy, which keep the police out of their hair. So they need Belize to be Gotham City.
Yeah.
It's a genius move.
Yeah, on their part.
Oh yeah. Yeah. These guys are just the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're a means to an end. They're a pawn in the game.
They're just all pawns trying to take each other out. And if you step back, that's infuriating.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even the end. We're not even the end of this. We are get your fuel and go make more money, cause more chaos.
Yeah.
But fucking Belize is like a pirate dock. You know, like it's just a freaking. They need it to be fucking chaotic.
Yeah,
they need it to be.
They need to maintain the status quo.
Yep. Because if they get infrastructure, they're coming after their drugs in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
So they need all the gangs. They need all the gangs. They need all the violence. They need all this to keep the police distracted.
Pretty much. The thing that got me the most was when this dude said, even if you get out, you never really leave the gang.
Yeah.
Like, because you know too much.
Yeah.
And he, again, just like the ones that are still knee deep in it, like the guys from before this guy, any day could be your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy, man.
Hell yeah.
It's beginning to get dark as we arrive in George Street.
Oh my God.
There are already a few gang members on the streets, and Jason introduces me to Baja, his cousin, and his most loyal soldier.
All right, this is my little corner right here. My homies, you know. But I hang all the way up to that other lane down yonder, you know. We control this whole neighborhood.
George Street, yeah?
Yeah, no boy should play in this neighborhood.
Just say someone came along and shot a member of George Street now, you would retaliate straight away.
We take on Goliath. We'll take him on.
All crew are not trying to gang up Crips, Bloods, everyone. We don't give a fuck. We kill Crip, Blood, anybody. The person who I think will take my life mainly are the police, you understand me? Because me already did time for a police murder remanded. So I just have to watch my back from these cops, afraid they pick me up late night and no one don't see.
But you were saying, Badger, if it does kick off, you're going to go straight, get your vest on, yeah?
Yeah, man, and I have to stay at my vest after that, you know, even if it's hot, if I sweat, I'd rather sweat than feel lead.
Rather sweat than feel lead?
Yeah.
Bars.
I'm really shocked by their casual attitude towards violence here.
In other places, you can feel that the people that you're with have an agenda. They're killers. But with these guys, these are probably some of the worst killers I've ever met. And they just don't feel like that when you're with them. And you know, in the blinking of an eye, though, they could switch. Start pulling triggers and throwing hand grenades.
The next morning, Jason takes me to the other side of town to meet his family in a safe house.
Sometimes innocents get shot in the shootouts here, don't they?
Definitely. Kids get shot innocently, and the last time it was like probably about 10-year-old.
A 10-year-old?
10-year-old little boy.
Get killed?
Innocent. He didn't die. He got shot in the chest. Then the other guy, the 13-year-old, he can't walk good.
Is that a bullet hole there?
Yeah, we got a bullet hole right here. This was once when they came to kill me and some of my homies. You know?
Really?
Yeah. They came and bust about 15 shots.
You've got kids in this house as well?
Yeah, kids were in this house, definitely. They were lying on the bed.
And that round's gone straight through?
Straight through. The girl, when she came out and saw what happened, she cried. A couple months after someone died for the shit. Because you got to keep your standard up.
Jason still lives on George Street, but visits his 3 daughters as often as he can.
But this is my little queen right here.
Aww. No.
She always want to be with me, go with me everywhere I go. This is my big daughter. Big S, she's at college right now. You know, I love her too. And this is my medium daughter. She's 11.
Oh, yeah?
She's in school, primary school. They saw so many shit, man. I'm telling you.
Really?
They saw so many shits. One time I was with her, and a guy came with a big pump action. I tried to grab her, right, to let him not shoot me, you know, and I hold her like to say, fuck, he's not going to shoot me because I have my daughter. You know this asshole be pulling the trigger still? My daughter just bolt out my hands and ran up the street.
Do you remember that happening?
You remember when the angel coined the big gun? She remembers. It's not long ago. You know, like one time when one of the homies got shot through the alley there. When I came here, they were crying like they can't take it anymore.
Do you worry about your dad?
This one was in the yard when the shot was firing. She was middle of the yard. That's why I know, you know, all of that, man. They could have cut my little daughter that night, man. This asshole just came and blazing. They weren't even looking to see her. Little did I know when I came around, my daughter was running around still screaming. You know, I didn't even know she was there, even, you know, if she was dead there, then I didn't even know I ran left my daughter, but that's what I did.
Because of incidents like that, Jason, do you want to get out of it completely?
Definitely, man. For me, right, I would like to be in the park. I would like to be walking with my kids, holding hands, you know?
You really want to get out, but can you ever get out?
I hope so, man.
You're shaking your head?
I would hope that, you know?
You were shaking your head. Why were you shaking your head? You don't think Daddy can get out? Well, because people want to get him. Do you understand what danger your dad is in sometimes? Does it worry you?
Oh my God.
Does it scare you? You think about it all the time?
I always tell them, you can't go with me, you're gonna get shot up, let your daddy die alone. You know? Let daddy die alone, I don't want, it's gonna hurt me more for any of them to die with me.
Oh my God. That's heartbreaking, man. When, like I said earlier, it's like, not only does this guy know, like his children know that there ain't no fucking way out of this.
That is the way of life. Like, they have plans set up. They have a strategy set up to basically, what is it called? Like, this is the scenario, and this is how it's going to play out already.
Yeah.
Daddy will get shot in the front. Don't go to him because you might still get shot. And it's not like if.
It's a matter of when.
Fucking crazy, dude.
Just imagine knowing that at, what's it, his daughters are like 18, 11, and like 4, and they all know.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God. My heart breaks for them. Ugh.
It was amazing seeing Jason with his kids. He clearly loves them dearly, and they're the most important thing in his life. That said, he also said that, you know, when shots came into the yard once, he ran away and left his toddler screaming. He also very honestly admitted to picking up one of his daughters and using her as a human shield when he was being shot at. For me, that's the hard thing about making these programs. I actually liked him. Against all that I've just said, I actually liked him as a human being. And that's a man that has ordered the deaths of numerous people. So I say that I like him as a human being, but I find what he does absolutely appalling.
Yeah. Well, like that, obviously, like you can not like what he did, but he's still, you understand where this dude's coming from, and a lot of other people in this country of Belize.
Yeah, you can't look at this man's plight with the eyes of any sort of privilege or Western civilization. You can't look, you don't do that to this place. You can't judge until you're there. You know, like,
right.
It's not fair to their situation. That's life or death. It's like the fucking Wild West.
Yeah. And you can argue all day whether that's justified. Using your own daughter as a human shield, that's not okay.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is you play onto the emotions of, I guess, who's ever shooting you, not to have some sort of empathy in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's all hyped up on fucking drugs.
Yeah.
Like, no, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, these guys, even though they are not, what's it called? Like making money. I feel like their money comes in waves here and there when whatever, but you save up that money, get your family out first.
Yeah.
But maybe then again, they could find his family and then they could use leverage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's the thing. It's all in one swift move to get out.
Yeah.
You never go slow when you're dealing with like drug cartels and people like that. You move quick. You disappear, but you disappear once. There's no going back to get something. You go away once.
Yeah.
There are many people in Belize who are trying to stop the escalation of gang violence. Douglas Hyde is an ex-gang member who now runs a project on the south side to stop young kids joining the gangs.
How dangerous is this for the kids?
This is one of the most dangerous area in the city of Belize. Over the period of years, we have seen a lot of gang murders in this area.
Anyone who's ever seen a gun before, real gun, not toy.
What you're trying to do is dissuade these kids from joining these gangs, but how strong is the draw for them?
How many want to ever touch a gun? For real? Wow.
We know the gangs recruit very early. A lot of the crimes that are committed by young kids between the age of 14 and 24. When cocaine and crack came into our country, it escalated. It came with weapons, and almost everybody got a weapon. It get even more dangerous because our young people didn't see eye to eye. It was like limited tolerance. There was like a lot of ignorance. A lot of people were very impatient. And so it's like, to solve my problem, I take my gun out and shoot you.
Trying to tackle the gang problem head-on are the police. With the city gripped by gang violence, early morning police raids are a regular occurrence.
As you can tell from my face, it's pretty early in the morning here. It's just gone 4 o'clock. We're on our way to a police station to observe and film a raid on a number of gang areas.
This morning, there are simultaneous raids planned all over the city.
In the upcoming raid, do you see resistance being something very minimal or a high threat?
When going to this area, we need a larger group to contain the area quickly. Officers, you need to be careful because there are dogs in the yard. This house downstairs is where they meet and plan robberies, burglaries, and murders.
We just left the police station. The gangs unit and drug squad are up in front of us. It's now just about 5:30. One of the things that we were briefed on before we left the station was that a lot of times the local people in the community defend the gang from the police, and they'll come out and start hurling stones and sticks and bottles at the police because they see it as an affront to their community that the police could just walk in there and snatch people.
Oh my God.
The police are struggling to gain entry, and the 6 dogs protecting the property are not helping.
Jump from my house and frighten me.
Who's this guy, Jim? This guy's one of the major players from the Victoria Street Bloods.
The police carry out a thorough search of the house for guns, drugs and ammunition.
They bury them under the ground, in ceilings, in walls, under the floorings.
He's very upset, isn't he?
Yes, he's upset due to the fact that one of his sons was shot about over a year ago in the neck, and it caused him to be paralyzed.
Is his son there now?
Yes, his son lives in the downstairs of the house.
Despite the surprise raid and a thorough search, they fail to find anything incriminating.
Oh my God.
The police leave, and we ask the family for their side of the story.
Mate, they found nothing there, yeah?
After a few words, we're invited in to meet the rest of the family.
Wow.
The father said it's okay to meet the son that was shot. He was shot about a year ago. Hi, friend. Sorry about this. Mate, we're basically a documentary crew from London. We make films around the world about gangs and about the trouble that exists, about the poverty, about how people have to live their lives. Can you talk to us about what happened to you?
Me? Yeah, I could tell him I'll leave something, yeah, nothing wrong with that. I got shot in my neck. In the neck?
No,
Yeah.
you get this operation.
Then I fell to the ground and then I
That's
couldn't
what it
move.
mean?
I just tell her, better kill me. Okay, if you don't kill me, I come back for you.
We'll never live peaceful again. Never gonna live peaceful. Because he have a lot of friends and everybody is so hurt about it.
It's not like jail. If I roll up on the street and they meet me, they want to kill me.
You go back on the street, they'll kill you.
I want to go to the river, go fishing like what I usually do. If I go to the river, go fishing, somebody will come right up to me and shot me in my head.
Oh my God.
Just tell me how old you are now.
Me, I'm 23.
And what are you going to do now? What's the future for you now?
Future, well, if you tell her the truth, right? I really got nothing for though.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Sometimes this pain with this game make me feel like I'm dead.
Yeah.
I have to live with that.
Is that always going to be? You're always going to have a catheter like that?
Well, I could take it out. I could use the bathroom, but I can't get up to go to the bathroom.
And they still want to kill you?
Yeah, they still want to kill me. They want to try anything for they. Yeah.
What would change that situation?
I don't know, the police can't do it.
Will you have to remove the people who are trying to kill you so in order for you to do that?
Exactly. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to move them. So other guys that believe, you hurt me, I catch your whole family. Your ma, your pa, your dog, everything was dead. But me, I don't do it like that, man.
When the police take driving,
The guy who shot me, I meet his sister once. I come and cut off his head if I want. You know, innocent people, you don't hurt people when I do nothing. Because if I want, right, if I really, really want, I could go buy some plastic explosive, and I could set it and blow up the whole block. You know?
Yeah.
You want to see the sword?
Yeah.
Right.
You sure show us the
Come in.
As the brothers lead me inside, I am totally unprepared for what I'm about to see.
Yeah, right.
1, 2, 3, yeah, here. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, man.
Push up my foot.
Sorry, man. There you go. That's the sores there. That's what rotted on you, yeah?
Oh.
I have another one about.
Oh, no, man.
I still try to get better.
Holy fuck.
I'm not Belize. I have to go outside for treatment, you know?
When you were in hospital, they should have kept turning your
Yeah,
body.
but
Oh my God.
I always need help, you know?
Oh.
I got no help. This time I were right here. I cried for 2 years.
Cry for 2 years, yeah?
Yep. No. I can't even feel pain.
Oh.
Can't cry no more. You know?
The fact that some people still want this young man killed, and that he is so intent on taking revenge, is proof of the unending cycle of violence and retribution that exists in Belize City. How you go about breaking this pattern is hard for me to say, and is so often the case when making these programs, I leave with more questions than answers.
The one thing that's not in doubt, however, is the fact that hundreds of tons of cocaine moved through this very small country, and the payment for its safe transportation in guns and drugs has made Belize City one of the most dangerous, gang-ridden cities on the planet. However, there is a new government here, and the people we've spoken to seem to believe it offers genuine hope. But with such a global demand for cocaine, unless there is some serious investment in the people and the infrastructure here, the traffickers will only get rich quicker, and the street gangsters will only die trying.
Yep.
Well,
best way to put it, right there.
Yeah. You know, it's soul wrenching, these kinds of programs.
Yeah.
All they do is expose. Well, no, it's not. I mean, it's their job to expose the rest of the world to us.
Yeah, and let us know the reality of what is going on.
And there is no, we'll fix it. It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is the shit that's going on everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the things that need to change, holy crap, man. Everest size of things that need to change.
It is definitely not going to be an overnight change, but that attitude of that dude that had the catheter in and the spot that just was oogly, the attitude that he still wants to, people still want him dead, and he is willing to take revenge tomorrow, is that's not erased overnight.
No. It's just it all these things, you know, we can judge from the comfort of our chairs, from where we live, and it's not fair. It's not fair to pass judgment or to even go in and fix. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, what the hell can two idiots on the internet provide for this type of thing? It's just, you know, discovering it and becoming aware of it and counting our blessings.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. This stuff happens rampant all across the world. And it's like, if anything, this should make you happy about your current situation, where you are. And if you're safe and if you're loved and you have your health, then you should be thankful. Thankful for that.
Yeah.
You
really
know, and
puts it all in perspective.
So this is the travel that I would love for. I want to get Alexander to experience, you know, like this is the type of real travel I have relatives in different countries and places of reputable areas, and
Okay.
and I would love to stick him there. And granted, his mom wouldn't like it, but I would
Of
love to go with him to those places that
Yeah.
I've been to. I'm like, look, we don't have it the worst. There's a lot of people that have it a lot worse, and be thankful where you're coming from and where you're at. So that's the kind of real travel, not the tourist traps. But no, it's always good, and I feel like we're doing our part, our little tiny part by hopefully increasing the eyes on this program. You know,
Yeah.
just even if it's just our 2 eyes, if everyone else has seen it, then
Yeah, exactly. It's 2 more eyes, 2 more people that have are aware of what's going on.
Yep. But I like this, man. This was interesting as hell, man.
Yeah. I hope we have more Ross Kemp on here, and I'm sure there's a few more in that poll, and I'm sure they'll get watched.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, I'm gonna binge watch them.
Yeah. You and me both, man.
Yeah, man.
You and me both.
God, jeez.
Anyway, y'all, thanks for watching. Somewhere around to subscribe and watch a hopefully more positive video.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose, embrace the suck.
Unplug and go traveling, guys.
Exactly. See y'all next time.
Later.